We're here with head coach Clarissa Crowell, talking about some general expectations for the 2016 Miami softball season. So, what are your general expectations going into the season?
Well, having graduated 6 seniors last year, 5 seniors the year before, this is a very new team for us this year. We're young, but at the same time, I think we have a great group. I believe we're really well balanced this year. Meaning, I think we're going to pitch it well. We're going to defend well, and we're also we're going to hit well this year. So, I'm excited about our young team, and they're hungry. They're anxious to get out there and compete. But as far as just general expectations, I expect us to be competitive both out of conference and in conference play, and we're really trying to just focus on just taking this a week at a time and not making it too big. So play like a champion every day. So that's kind of what we're expecting from our kids.
All right. You go into each practice telling the team to get 1% better every day. What do you mean by that, and how do you feel the team goes about accomplishing it?
It's a mindset that we want our kids to have in everything that they do, whether it be softball, whether it be school, whether it's just becoming better people. But as it relates to the field, what we want is for our kids to come to practice every day just having small goals. And sometimes, especially I think female athletes, when we come to practice, we try to work on way too many things, and that at times can be overwhelming. So, for what we want to do is just have them focus on 1 or 2 things, come to practice, accomplish those goals so that they can walk away feeling successful for that day. So we actually have a sign on our indoor facility that says 1% better, and every day when our girls leave practice for the day, I kind of take a look to see if they're hitting that sign, because if they're hitting that sign, that means they got 1% better on that day.
Can you talk about your assistant coaches? What are each of their responsibilities, and how do they help the team accomplish its goals?
First and foremost, I love my assistants, Coach Schultz and Coach Ty Sarchek. They're great people. It's just been a pleasure to work with the both of them. But Coach Schultz is our lead hitting instructor and does an excellent job with our hitters. And Coach Ty Sarchek helps him with our hitters as well. And, they both have played at a high level. They both were very successful athletes, and they bring in valuable experiences from both the softball and the baseball world. But the best part of them is they are knowledgeable, they're smart, and they have a great way of being able to relate to our athletes and being able to communicate their knowledge to them. So they've been just awesome, like I said earlier. But along with hitting, Coach Ty Sarchek works with our outfielders, and Coach Schultz works with our infielders.
The tournament schedule has you visiting several locations and taking on several big-time schools, including 5th-ranked Alabama right off the bat. Is that by design, and how do you feel it will benefit the Redhawks in the long run?
Right. I don't think it's necessarily by design, because when you sign up for some of these tournaments, you don't know who is going to sign up as well, unless you go to, for instance, we're going to Oklahoma State, so we know that we're going to get, Oklahoma State. However, when I signed up for the Georgia State tournament, I didn't know Alabama was going to be there. Playing Kentucky in Chattanooga, Kentucky actually was a late addition to that tournament. So it wasn't necessarily by design, but nonetheless, we're excited. Anytime you can play an Alabama or a Kentucky or an Oklahoma State, it's definitely an opportunity. And our girls will be challenged, but I think it will well prepare us for conference play.
MAC is going to a 3-game weekend series this year against single opponents. What do you think of this new format, and what adjustments do you think teams will have to make because of it?
Well, it's definitely going to be different, but I think there's a lot of positives that's going to come with this format. So, for instance, when travel, we only have to travel to one site as opposed to traveling to 2. The other thing, we only have to prepare for 1 opponent. In the past, we've had to prepare for 2. But I think the biggest change from just the softball standpoint is going to be for pitching. In the past, you could pretty much put your horse out there and the ace could throw both games. I think now what you're going to see is more teams going to their pitching staff. They're going to have to utilize more than one pitcher. So I think that's going to be the biggest change. I also think that now it'll be fun because there will actually be a series winner, whereas in the past it was, if one team won one game, the other team, if you split, there was no real winner. So it should be a fun year in the MAC.
All right. And then what are your general thoughts on the MAC this season?
I think it's going to be a fun year. There's a lot of change, I think, that's happened in our conference. You've got new coaching staffs. You've got, Emma Johnson graduated, who was the stud pitcher from Kent State, and you've got Savannah Dorsey from OU coming back. So, you've got new coaches to just the pitchers that are in the conference, pitchers who left the conference. There's a lot of things that I think are going to happen, but I honestly think it's anybody's ball game. I think there's a lot of parity, and I think I feel good about the team that we have this year and our opportunity to compete for a championship this year. So,
Thank you, Coach.
thank you.